How Not to Die, the book that says sugar, carbs make you fat. Confusing as heck. This is the book you don't want to give to someone who's new to the vegan lifestyle, because they would be so confused. They'd be so confused. Page 6, we have India. Take India for example. The country's rate of diabetes, heart disease, obesity and stroke had increased far faster than might have been expected given its relatively small increase in per capita meat consumption. This has been blamed on the increasing whole plant food content in the diet, including a shift from brown rice to white rice, and the substitution of other refined carbohydrates, packaged snacks, fast food products for India's traditional staples, blah, blah, blah. There's no mention of ghee or oil. Basically saying, Greg is saying, or putting it in your book, is saying that India's cause of diabetes, increased diabetes, obesity, heart disease, etc. was because they went from brown rice to white rice. But that on page 6 of your book, no mention of ghee or oil or the fatty things that block arteries, cause obesity, cause insulin resistance. It's very disappointing. It's like these days, any doctor out there, anyone can go to university, become a doctor, parrot some stuff and say this is true. This is a carnivore diet, this is a vegan diet, this is high carb, low fat, blah blah blah, or keto vegan, keto carnivore. It's just so much confusion out there, isn't there? There's so much confusion out there. So my goal as a YouTuber, as a health nut, as a nutrition nut, is to help ease the confusion. People say, Harley, what's your qualifications? My qualification is anyone I coach gets insane fucking results, alright? And here's the thing, a lot of these guys, their husbands or wives are overweight. Their kids are overweight and out of shape. Now, if your kid or your husband or wife is overweight and out of shape, it means your program doesn't work. Simple as that. Because if the person who you live with can't do it, it means it ain't sustainable, alright? So, How Not to Die. It should be called How to Really Confuse Noob Vegans. How to confuse people even more. I mean, it's got some good things in the books. It talks about exercise, the importance of exercise. Dr. Greger, what sort of doctor is he? I don't even know, but he recommends more exercise than I do. Right? So he recommends less calories than I do and more exercise than I do. I recommend maybe 30 minutes a day, an hour a day. He recommends 90 minutes every day, vigorous cycling, running, etc. That's a lot of fucking exercise. I couldn't do that much. I would get too lean. You know what I mean? Like where would the fat go? Sort of thing. I'm already lean enough as it is, so it is incredible. So it just, you know, it pushes caffeine a lot. 5 cups of tea a day. That's a lot of caffeine. That's a lot of caffeine. That's, in my opinion, that is way too much. Not in my opinion, my experience coaching everybody. I'm getting crazy. This book did treat me a lot. In my experience coaching so many people since 1996, and my friend Nicole says, Harley, help me get slim, help me lose weight. She saw a photo of herself she didn't like. She looked thick. And so I became a walking buddy. And she would try all these different diets, and I'd be like, oh, I don't know, I'm a total noob, you know, but I know you need a lot of carbohydrate because Asians are skinny in China. And so, boom, we got her really, really trim and taut and lean. And that's back in 1996. So that's when my journey started in terms of coaching people one-on-one. In terms of diet and stuff, back in the day, my mum used to have Leslie Kenton books on a bookshelf back in the 80s. So I'd be bored, I'd just be like flicking through books. Didn't have computer games back then. I didn't, my house, no computer games. Wasn't able to watch much TV, so I'd take to books. So I became really interested in nutrition from back in the 80s onwards. But in terms of a personal trainer one-on-one, 1996 on. So coaching so many people, this stuff doesn't work. It isn't sustainable. If it was, then Gregor, who's similar age to me, would be in incredible fitness shape. You know, if he's following his recommendations. 90 minutes a day training, that's a fucking lot, man. That's like, you could become an Olympic level 5K runner on 90 minutes a day. You know, if you have those sort of genetics or doping programs or whatever. 90 minutes a day is a shit ton of activity. I think it's good, but I'm just saying it's a lot. It's a lot more than I recommend. Because yeah, it is. I'd say it's almost too much for most people to start with, even though it's a good goal. But yes, so much contradictions in here. Sugar's bad, fruit's good. Under a microscope though, glucose and fructose are exactly the same wherever they come from. Oh, but it doesn't have the fiber in there. It doesn't matter about the fiber. Look at the kept in a diet. You know what I mean? I could live on a diet of Fanta. I could live on a diet of mango juice. I can live on a diet of sugar. Actually, I do live on these diets, don't I? Where's the bananas? You know, so you got all this confusion out there. People are just so confused. In the fridge here in the Philippines, bananas, just a bit, they're pretty ripe, so keep them in the fridge, last a bit longer. We got mango puree. So all sorts of stuff. We got dried mango. The carbs are gonna make you fat. It is just a very incredibly confusing book. It's, you know, it has some good nuggets in there, but it's just so confusing because let's just say I say to you, go this way, and you go, so you go that way, and then I should go that way. Like you're getting confused. So the way to lose people is confuse them. And in my opinion, from reading all the books out there, I'm a bookworm, and flicking through this, jumping to certain parts of it. Another book that just confuses people, you know. It's just like, don't write a book that contradicts itself. Edit your book properly and make it clear that the Indians weren't getting obesity because they increased white rice intake or switch from brown to white. That's just like, how do you even say that? Given all, if you're into evidence-based research, how can you say that white rice will make you fat? You know, or causes insulin sensitivity. When you have Durianrider over here, 0 body fat, probably 0.5% body fat. You know, probably 0.1% body fat. If you want to go for troll factor there. I'm actually negative body fat. I have to get fat transfer every day. From, you know, it's crazy. So all we're doing is we're confusing people, we're losing people. People are like, oh, fruit's good, water is good, water is bad, fruit's bad, sugar's good, sugar's bad. White rice is good, but as long as it's brown. Don't do too much exercise a lot. Coffee's bad, good, coffee's bad. Water's good, don't drink water, dry fast, hard fast, dry fast, soft dry fast, 1 meal a day, 10 meals a day. So much confusion out there. So where's the noob gonna go? And they're gonna go back to what they used to do. They're going on the merry-go-round of trying all these different diets. Look like that veggie police dude. Just every month, new diet. Change your jocks, change your diet. You know? And then just like, oh, vegan's shit, don't do the vegan. That's what happens to most people, you know? Or people have some sort of stress crisis in their life, rather than blaming that for digestive stomach issues, they blame something else. You know, rather than blame your breakup or your poor communication with your parents or whatever, or your kids or whatever, you know, work on that, all right? Work on that versus blaming bananas or rice. What do people do? If you're going to have these piss poor excuses, don't put them on the internet, you know? Just have the decency for the vegan movement or the animals, etc. Or the noobs out there. Just keep your ego down. Just don't put it out. You know, your personal experiments or your personal issues or whatever, because it doesn't really serve anything in the bigger picture. All right, so anyway, that's my issues. How not to die. I wouldn't give this book to anybody because it just confuses people. Unfortunately, you know. Actually, before I gave it to someone, I'd probably like rip out pages or get a whiteout pen. Just cross out the white rice is bad. And here's the worst, probably the worst part of the book is it does smell good. The book does smell good, I'll give it that. I like the smell of this book. So here we go. Got the red light, green light thing. So green light is unprocessed plant foods. Alright? Yellow light is processed plant foods, unprocessed animal foods. So Greg is saying that this can of beans, which is processed, is at the same level of health and nutrition as unprocessed animal products, aka piece of meat. So the can of chili, fat-free, oil-free, whichever one you get, the same as eating meat, according to Dr. Greger's green light, yellow light, red light. Red light, ultra-processed plant foods, processed animal foods. You can come through, Tasha, sorry I have to go under. You know, So sugar is the same as sausages or salami or pastrami or whatever, you know? No wonder Gregor can't coach anyone to, even his direct, say it again, mate. I'm not trying to be personal here or whatever, I'm just saying that, can you imagine if like I had a wife or girlfriend and she was fat and stayed fat after years and years of being with me? What would people say? People would say, Harley, your advice doesn't fucking work. What they do see though is people who are around me, spend a lot of time with me, just going up in good results. So this green light thing is terrible. It's terrible. Refined sugar is the same as eating sausages and pastrami. No wonder Gregor doesn't have any like fucking hardcore athletic people out there doing crazy results up the door or whatever, or getting insane, reduced body fat, leanness, fitness, running times, etc. It's like, you look at Durianriders, look at all the times up there. How many people have beaten me? It's crazy. The vegans, the high carb crew, cadence crew. So it is very sad that this is a bestseller, international bestseller, saying that sugar, based on the red light, green light thing, is the same or worse than meat. Right? So imagine if you read that, okay, I got it. You're not a vegan. You don't care about ethics, or you just like whatever. Okay, so I'm into health. So yeah, processed plant foods the same as unprocessed animal foods. So I can have pasta. That's processed. I should just have a steak and salad, according to the red light, green light thing. According to that, I'm not lying. I'm not hanging out of context. Red light, ultra processed plant foods, aka pasta. That's refined as fuck. Right? I eat pasta. I ate pasta. I had pasta last night. Still lean. Had pasta 17 years ago. Still lean. I've had refined, processed plant foods every day for 17 years. Still lean. Too lean. 0% body fat. Just so people can see it. Just so people can see it, It's like, how many times do I have to flex in front of my iPhone for people to get it? Gregor's not even in shape. Not even in shape. And you know why? You know how I could get Gregor in such incredible shape? Dude's training 90 minutes a day. He's in poor shape. Starting that work with Gregor, hit me up. I'll coach you. Mates rates. Jesus. I just don't, So yeah, how not to die. How to cause the vegan movement to die. Put out mad confusing information. Tell people white rice is the cause of obesity, diabetes. Forget all the work, all the stuff out there that PCRM.org's done, McDougall, Kempner diet, all the founding fathers and mothers of the high carb vegan establishment getting all them crazies. Forget all that. Forget all of that. Just put it page 6. India's increase in diabetes, heart disease, and obesity, stroke was caused by their switch from brown rice to white rice. Put that on page 6 of your international bestseller. Then on page 295, dining by traffic light, put processed plant foods the same as unprocessed animal foods. So white rice the same as eating fish, steak, chicken, etc. Same stuff according to this one. I repeat myself again, don't I? I'm just like, I'm dumbfounded. It definitely frustrates me, infuriates me, pains me that people out there release these books that go viral on Amazon and they just fucking confuse people. They make it harder for all of us out there who spread a good message. Carb the fuck up. Fruit, rice, sugar, starches. Ride your bike instead of driving a car. Drive less, ride more. When you cut your carbs, you're going to be driving more, riding less. More pollution. Right? The solution isn't more pollution. The solution is carb the fuck up, ride your bike more when you drive your car. Never have a weight issue ever again. I don't want to do exercise. I just like, what do we do in this world, man? I don't want to do exercise, Haley. I want to eat KFC and drive my Ferrari everywhere. Play video games. And make videos about doing it. Donate to my Patreon. So, I don't know. Anyway, how to die, Gregor. Mad disappointment, bro. Mad disappointment. Please put out an updated version. How to succeed and thrive in a vegan lifestyle. Better yet, forget Gregor's book. Share Carb the Fuck Up, my big book around. It's actually designed so people can succeed on this lifestyle. This isn't. This is a failure book. This book smells good, feels good, but inside you got hundreds and 600 pages of fucking confusion and contradiction. So it's so hard for people to follow this stuff. It's impossible unless you're like, I mean, like, it's like a map that's fucked. You ever got a map? Did you do orienteering back in the day? I remember one time we did orienteering back in the 80s, late 80s, and the teacher gave us a map that was fucked, and all the kids were getting lost in the forest, and then we were all like frustrated, like, what is this map? Doesn't fucking work. He gave us the wrong map, Gregor. He gave everyone the wrong map. He made millions of dollars on giving people the wrong map. That's fucked. Oh, and you donate to the charity. Which charity?